Come on. What I'm talking about. Says we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. Yeah, we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. I said we all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. You can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. Say we all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. Come on. I said we all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. We all do better when we all do better. We can't get better than that. Come on, y'all.
And that ain't no crime. And that ain't no crime.
Hello. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, what's happening?
What's happening, y'all?
Welcome once again to the Gangstagrass.tv Friday night team stream. Wrench, do you have enough glasses there?
No, never.
No.
Are there enough for all of us? Oh, look, there are.
Yeah. Well, he's got to see in all the time zones.
It's true.
He's late, so they're right.
What's up, Lil Huh? Oh, excuse me, Lil Uh-huh.
Oh, Lila. Hey, good to see you. We got more people tuning in from the UK again. Thank you all
Word.
for staying up so late with us.
Yes.
Hmm.
Looking forward to getting back out there to catch y'all.
Yeah, that's really good. You know, those tickets have been on sale for a long time because that tour was supposed to happen in September of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long those tickets have been on sale. So they've been waiting a long time for the return of Gangstagrass, and they get it in June.
And we've been waiting a long time for Gangstagrass to return to the UK and visit some of these amazing places.
Go.
Here, here. We are headed back to the Thekla show on a boat in Bristol.
In? Yes.
That's right. We are headed to the garage in London.
Are we going to Liverpool this time?
We are
too?
going to Liverpool
For the
this
first
time. Yes.
Or if they say
First time in Liverpool.
the garage.
Yep. Little you're in Little
Garage.
Ahman's in Eastern. Like it. Yep, we're headed to the
Yeah.
garage. We're headed to Liverpool. We're headed to Edinburgh.
Yes.
But,
Kick it with our homeboy Johnny.
That's right. We're gonna get some really great Italian food. Isn't that funny that like one of the best places in the world to get Italian food is Scotland?
Yeah. My favorite ramen spot is in Glasgow.
Your favorite Robin spot? Like,
Ramen spot.
I thought you
My
went robbing
my
people.
my favorite robbing spot is in Toronto.
That's right, where the audience just hands you the money.
Yeah, that was the first time we accidentally robbed an audience.
Mhm.
I was like, I looked in the bag and I was like, wait, there's actually money in this bag.
It's,
Notice I said it's the first time we did, because it happened a few more times.
yeah.
We just kept accidentally robbing people. It's
Well,
like,
you know, for a while there, we were doing a very special presentation of 2 yards that involved some role play.
yeah, and actually that was the first time we performed it because that was the night we wrote it
Uh-huh.
in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, the role play 2 yards creeps me out a little bit. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, we don't need to go there.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. Best soul food Mexican. Oh yeah, I did have some really good Mexican food in Edinburgh.
It's got it all.
Oh my gosh. And I was really shocked about that. I didn't know they were Mexicans in Scotland.
I don't really remember any of the food from Scotland except Johnny's Italian and the vegan haggis at the castle.
Yeah, well, it was the same night, I think, the first time we played in Edinburgh and kicked it with Johnny.
Mm.
No, was it? No, did we kick it with Johnny the next day? I can't remember, but I think it was the first time we went through Edinburgh, and it was at the venue. One of the guys who I guess was the bartender or whatever, ran a Mexican restaurant, and then he hooked us up.
Mm.
I don't know if it hooked everybody up. Maybe it was just me. I know I have a way of happening into food.
I'm definitely missing tour food, but this time it's going to be a little different because we're going to have kitchens on basically every stop. We're going to have our kitchen kit with us, a big cast iron Dutch oven, and big wooden spoons, bamboo possibly. And we always have our meat thermometer and our spices, but it looks like we're gonna have a whole like knife kit and apparently a shrimp cleaner, which feels to me like a little excessive, but hey, whatever, it's little.
Wait, who?
That's
Shrimp cleaner.
That's Danjo. That's probably where he is tonight, by the way. Just like still working on the kitchen kit. He's very enthusiastic about it, which is great. And one of the things he sent, he sent out a picture of like what he wants to put in the kitchen kit, and one of the things was a shrimp cleaner, which is a device I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, we use them at home, like when we shuck their own shrimp.
This has just never come up in my world.
Yeah, it's a little flexible little thing. You just slide down the back of the shrimp and pull it back, and it just yanks the shell right off.
But the big picture is we're getting 2 birds stoned at once here by being more sustainable and also getting to cook for ourselves by staying at places with kitchens, Airbnbs, and bringing our necessities so that we don't have to be ordering takeout on the road so much.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Hey, we could probably do another bagel day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. Yeah, I definitely want to do a bagel day. And then we've got a few cities where we have time to just be in the house for a while. So bagel day is absolutely an option. Yep. So what else have you guys gotten going on? Just doing a quick little chat tonight, getting prepared for the tour. Got a lot going on there. Yeah, Wrench made the tour graphic today.
Yeah.
On it.
That's right. Really, really excited about that. Do you want to mention some of the tour dates, Wrench?
Yeah. We're coming to my house. We're coming to. We're coming we're coming to Jimmy Joe's house.
Good old Jimmy Joe.
If you don't mind the mess, come to the party at Jimmy Joe's house. Fingers crossed. We got the first weekend of February. Frederick, Maryland, Chester, Virginia, and South Orange, New Jersey are getting Gangstagrass parties.
Yeah.
You know
Very
anybody
exciting.
in those areas, you better let them know to get some tickets.
Yeah, yeah. North Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
Yep. And then middle of February, that's when we're hitting the road. Starting off with Philly.
Yes, Philly is going to be ridiculous.
Breaking in a new venue in Philly called Brooklyn Bowl Philly. Hopefully that's not too confusing to people.
Yeah, right. They're going to turn up in Brooklyn and be very confused. Wait, why?
Yeah.
Hang on.
So Philly people, or if you know Philly people, tell them to get these tickets. Yeah.
Philadelphia, South
Philly
Jersey,
people. Yeah. Washington,
Delaware.
Ooh-wee.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Upper Darby, Chester, Norristown,
We're gonna make it to
King of
Boone.
Prussia.
We're gonna be in North
King of
Carolina.
Prussia.
Boone. Where's our North Carolina people? Come out to Boone.
Yeah.
And then Virginia Beach.
Virginia
757.
Beach, Elevation 27 in the 757. That is going to
Yeah.
be a great show.
757.
Elevation 27 in the 757. Why is that happening?
Yeah. So nice, you had to say it twice.
Elevation 27 in the Why are we ringing?
It was at thrice. You had to say it twice.
It doesn't have
Why are we ringing?
It was at thrice.
Make sure to mute whatever you're watching the stream on. So
That's interesting. So, I put a little thing up to show the tour dates from our website, but apparently we have the stream going on our events page. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I think maybe it ought
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Cool.
You know, go to gangstagrass.com/events. You might be seeing this again, but you'll see all the tour dates.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do that a different way. That's fine. That's no problem. I can do that.
Let's shout out to Knoxville and Louisville. Knoxville, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky. Anybody out there, anybody you got friends there, get them tickets. Those are going to be awesome parties. Then we got St. Louis. Yeah, back in St. Louis.
Yes.
And Columbia, Missouri. So, those are going to be very cool. That's wrapping up February right there.
That's right.
Hitting up the Louvre.
Then we go into March, hitting up into the Midwest, Mineral Point, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Green Lake, Wisconsin. It's a Wisconsin trifecta right there, and Red Wing, Minnesota for the first time.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about Red Wing. I think we should do a version of the song Red Wing for Red Wing.
Yeah, totally.
Be very cool.
And we're gonna hit Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Get your Iowa people out. Get your tickets. Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll kick it with Dr.
Ohio.
Nisi.
Columbus, Ohio. And then we're back to Winchester, Virginia at Breitbart Theater. You know the Winchesters got the folks coming out for us, all our Winchester family.
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
They've
And,
been waiting a
crazy.
long time.
And then later in March, we're heading back to Memphis again. Had such a good time there at Rail Garden. And then we're playing at the Cavern for Bluegrass Underground. That is going to be a crazy show. Enough to make my
It's gonna be
glasses
bonkers.
down.
Gotta bring our mining hats, little flashlight on it.
And we're not going to forget about you folks out west. Anybody out west thinking, oh, that's all to the east. Well, you just wait till April because we got Colorado coming. We got Seattle, Portland, Bend, Oregon, down to Felton, California. We got a couple shows in Arizona.
That's right.
So basically, everybody watching this should go to gangstagrass.com/events and check for any places that you know people that you should tell them to go see Gangstagrass. We really want to see you out there, and we're trying to keep these tours going, but we need folks to come out and be at the tours. We promised that we were doing all the possible things we can to make sure that they are safe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get safer and safer. I know things are very locked down right now, but hopefully we'll be turning a corner on that. And if anything gets postponed, you know, we'll rebook it and we'll make sure your ticket's still good. So don't.
Yes, we will.
Get those tickets to make sure you support the tours being able to happen.
Yeah, it makes a really big difference. It makes a really big difference. Just knowing the venues, knowing that people are coming is huge.
Yeah. And the reality out there right now is that everybody's having trouble with ticket sales. Ticket sales are down everywhere. So touring is pretty rough right now. And we're definitely hoping things can come back enough that we can kick off this tour. But if there aren't ticket sales going on, it can't happen. That's the whole thing is based on you folks out there coming to see us. Without you, there's no magic. It's all the fans, man. Hey, there's me flying across the screen.
Yeah. Oh, Betty Lynn, Asimism.
Hey, Betty Lynn.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We got all the folks in the chat. Happy to see everybody.
So, definitely excited about Philly because we haven't played Philly in a few years now.
We haven't played anywhere in a few years now.
I mean, even prior to the lockdown of the pandemic, we had gone a few years without playing Philly.
It's true. We did the Philly Folk Fest last, I think
Yeah.
it was. Yep. Right. Well, in fairness, we played Philly virtually in
Yes,
2020.
we did, virtually.
That's got to count for something.
That county counts as playing everywhere at once.
Well, we definitely see you at Boone, North Carolina, or Virginia, wherever you choose to come.
Yeah.
It'd be
True that.
awesome to get to play for you in person.
You know, hashtag let's both. We're doing both. You could too.
Yeah.
It's only a 6-hour drive between them. Much to my great chagrin, it is a 6-hour drive between them.
I was realizing that Frederick, Maryland, the DC show, and Winchester, Virginia are not that far from each other. And we could see if people could do a triple play on that and do some sort of special deal for people that came to Frederick, Maryland, DC, and Winchester, Virginia.
I'm gonna throw in the other Chester there too. Chester, Virginia, same deal. It kind of depends on where you're located. If you're like south of DC, you could do Chester and DC and either Winchester or Frederick or both. Absolutely. We'll throw a t-shirt your way if you come to all those shows. We'll throw a something. You want a CD, we'll figure something out for you. Just, you know.
We come out with like one of those little cards and just stamp it every time.
That's right. We do need one of those.
You know.
Get something cool from the
Yeah.
Okay, I have some ideas.
With every 10th stamp, you get to choose the adventure.
That's right. That's right. We just made our special
be
passes. That's
Yeah.
we can make special cards. One of the things I would like to do is when Barnstormers come to the show, I wanna give you guys a VIP pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of Barnstormers, we just sent out a whole bunch of goodies
Yeah.
to Barnstormers.
Oh yeah,
For anybody who doesn't know what the Barnstormers is, I know we got some Barnstormers watching, but
yeah,
for
we
any-
do.
The Barnstormers is the special VIP super awesome club of Gangstagrass fans that have joined our subscription, paying $4 a month, $16 a month, a bunch of choices there. And when you subscribe, you're supporting us being able to just do music and send it directly to you, but you're also getting all kinds of goodies, behind the scenes videos, pre-releases of stuff, some sneak peeks, some stuff from the archives, all kinds of goodies and special chances, special discount codes. So we take care of the Barnstormers, and they take care of us. And so tonight is the night. If you're not on the Barnstormers already, go to gangstagrass.com/Barnstormers and join this club, and you will instantly get access to all the stuff that we've been sending out. Instant gratification, you get all these goodies. We just sent out a whole behind the scenes video from our recent studio session that gives you some sneak peeks at some of the grooves we were laying down of songs that are not even done yet.
Yeah, we had a marathon session.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So much new material. Like, there was a song that was laid down that was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We were not even planning on that when we went in there, but hi, man.
At least 2 of them was written on the drive over.
Yeah. If you join the Barnstormers, if you go to gangstagrass.com/Barnstormers and join right now, we might see it come in and give you a big shout out here on the live stream. We will be singing your praises because Barnstormers means so much to us. It's really an amazing way to connect with the band and to support the music and make it possible. So if you're not a Barnstormer already, go on over, join the Barnstormers tonight, and we will celebrate you.
There really are so many cool things on the Barnstormers Hall, like in general, and especially this month. Like I feel like Wrench just was like, "Happy New Year! Here is everything." It is awesome.
Good goodies.
Yeah.
So much stuff from the archives. Great archive mental advisory track.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of stuff from the archives, I came across this video that I'm sharing with the Barnstormers of Gangstagrass when we visited George Washington's ancestral home.
I totally forgot that we filmed that.
Yeah, that was the last time we were in the UK. We went to where George Washington's family was from, and went to the house that his ancestors lived in, and shot the video, played a little music.
That's when I saw the original iteration of what would later become the flag for Washington, D.C., which is actually an interpretation from the Washington family seal.
Right, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, because I looked and I was like, where have I seen this before? Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was very interesting.
That was a great trip.
Oh yeah, I did. I still shoot some more video there too.
Yep, and Barnstormers might notice that the tune that Pharaoh plays at Washington's ancestral home ultimately ended up being, let's just say, one of the tracks on. It was the seed, the root of one of the tracks on No Time for Enemies.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty amazing.
Other things that would be awesome for you to do tonight, if you're not already following us on Twitch, click that purple heart, because we're at 499 followers on Twitch. Are we going to cross the 500 line tonight? Anybody that's not already a follower on Twitch, if you're watching right now, click on follow, little purple heart, and we'll see if we get to 500 and celebrate that.
Sweet, sweet.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about this Philly show.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting together a whole new hip hop cover for it, right?
We are?
That's my understanding.
I believe so. I did hear the seeds of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am especially amped about who we're going to be having on the bill with us.
Yeah.
Which is somebody that our son and I have been wanting to do something with for a minute. It's going to be a big thing.
Should we tell them? Tell them on the live stream?
Sure, why not? Yes, we will be sharing the stage with Philadelphia's own Reef the Lost Cause.
Reef the Lost Cause is playing at our show Gangstagrass and Reaper Lost Cause. Hey, we got a barnstormer. Mark Olson.
Yeah.
Mark Olson.
All right, Mark.
Yes. Mark Olson. That's what I'm talking about. You know what to do.
Come to a show.
Barnstormers. Log into your Barnstormers account and see all the goodies that you can get from. You got access to all the stuff that we put out to the Barnstormers in the whole last year or two. You're gonna be blown away. And you're gonna be scrolling at all the stuff you have access to now by going to gangstagrass.com/platinum because you are a platinum subscriber.
Woo!
You are awesome. Everybody give it up for Mark Olson.
Yeah.
Mark. Yep, gangstagrass.com/platinum, and it's good that you're watching the live stream because there is no automated system to send out anything that tells you to do that. So that is the answer. Gangstagrass.com/platinum, and that is where all of the content is. And Wrench is not kidding. You'll be scrolling for a while because that is content going back to when did we start this club? Like March or April of 2020. It was a long time ago. It was because we needed to be able to, still make music during a time of no touring. That ended up being a very long time of no touring. And that's where our Barnstormers just came in and totally saved the day.
Mm-hmm.
We say hi to you guys at the shows. You come up to us and say you're a Barnstormer, and we are like so happy to meet you in person. Asimism can vouch for that. Rusty can vouch for that. Jen can vouch for that. We've all been at the shows, and we love it. It's so great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So one of my favorite things that we've given to the Barnstormers is the behind the scenes video. And I have to say, this latest one cracked me up. Like, there's a lot that's like very serious, right? There's real serious music making. You'll see some incredible jams between Pharaoh and Danjo on like various instruments. But Dolio and our son with their microphones is it's just like the sweetest thing. They love these microphones.
Yo, they are really insanely dope mics. Yeah, the people at Ear Trumpet Labs have been cooking up some very beautiful and functional pieces of art. It's like holding a piece of art that just does things that are magical and they sound great. And it's just there's no other mics like them. Sorry to be jumping into commercial mode for these mics, but the mics are just awesome.
We like these ear trumpets. Ear Trumpet Labs is a very cool company. We visited the spot where they make them by hand and did some videos with them, and we're excited
Where's that?
Ear Trumpet Labs is joining forces with LR Bags, who make the preamps we use and the live DIs. So we just shot a new performance video with that collaboration, Ear Trumpet and LR Bags, and those performance videos are going to be coming out soon.
That's right. Those are coming out on Tuesday. So so for those who are familiar with the LR Bags shot video of You Can Never Go Home Again, which has, I don't know, closing in on 8 million views on YouTube. That is the same situation, but this time they partnered with Ear Trumpet Labs as well. So we have one of our favorite microphones standing in there in the shot, and we did 4 new tunes. So that's exciting. We did 3 from No Time for Enemies and 1 that's not even on an album yet.
Right.
Yep. And that's all coming out on Tuesday. So if you're already on LR Bags mailing list, you'll get like an email about that and all that stuff. We'll send out something. If you're on our mailing list, please do be on our mailing list. We appreciate that. That's at gangstagrass.com. There's a little box. You can put your email address in, and we all have very busy lives, so we actually don't email you very much. So no need to worry about that. We obviously don't sell your information or anything because that would be rude, and we are not like that. So join the mailing list and we will tell you when those videos come out. You'll also, I'm sure, because YouTube knows what you like, they will plaster that stuff all over your YouTube as well.
Oh yeah.
Once you see it, share it.
Please
Post
share
those
it.
around, man. That's good things to share. And this is another thing that all the Barnstormers, including the amazing Mark Olson, have right now in their Barnstormers account is the audio takes from that performance video that we shot, which are like the raw takes. So you hear us actually talking before and afterwards. And,
Uh-oh.
a little bit edited, maybe. But
Maybe just a little bit.
You got just 30 straight minutes of us talking about tacos. I don't know. I think I want some guacamole on that one.
It was Nashville. I think we were talking about hot chicken.
Oh yeah, we definitely were talking about chicken.
Yes. I really liked the hot chicken place. Not to go back to food, but I really liked the hot chicken place that we went to last time we were in Nashville. This, by the way, is why we should always eat before we get on the stream.
Yeah, well, I did.
That place, that was really great. Like I thought I was, Bolton's or nothing, but I actually really loved. Was it Helen's? Was that what it was? I don't even remember. I'd recognize it by sight, but I don't actually remember what it was called. But that was.
It wasn't Cole's.
What? I don't know. Maybe.
Helen's,
I don't.
right? It was something.
Yeah, I remember because what I got was the seafood platter because I had never seen such an assortment of hot fried anything in one place. I was like, wait a minute, you can fry that?
That's right. There were a few different fish and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, they had a fried lobster tail.
I may be able to play some video of it.
Yeah. Oh, really? We got
Really?
video
That
of
would be
too?
cool.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, man. Yes, welcome to the Gangstagrass.tv. We talk a lot about food on this stream.
We talk a lot about food.
But yeah, I never had fried lobster before until that night, and it was Nashville hot fried, which was the extra, little extra on that. Yeah, it was delicious. I did feel a little guilty though afterwards because it was a lot of food.
It was.
I think it's only on the drive, so I don't have it on the computer.
Next time, Gadget.
Video of it.
Yeah, something to look forward to. I've got our cities up on the view screen. Bunch of places we are headed to soon. Just in case you missed the list earlier, they're all here. You can go to gangstagrass.com/events and figure out what is closest to you, and there's gonna be something. Like, unless you are, I'm trying to think of like where you could be that you wouldn't be super close to a Gangstagrass show. I suppose if you're like,
Texas.
I was going to say deep in the heart of Texas, that is about the only place in this country where you could be not close to a Gangstagrass show. If you're in the UK, you are absolutely close to a Gangstagrass show. I know in the UK, like a 2-hour drive seems like you might as well go to another country. I get that. But
I'm not taking it that far south, so Florida and Alabama.
well, I mean,
Yet.
yeah, I feel like if you're in northern Florida, okay, I'll say, yeah, if you're in Miami, we're not going to get that close to you. If you're in the heart of Texas, we're not going to get that close to you this time around.
The Memphis show is close enough for the northern Florida.
Exactly. Northern Florida could absolutely
because I
get
had
there.
my whole, there was a whole crew from my hometown in northern Florida that rolled up to that Memphis show. So Pensacola was deep that night.
Yep. And we might be adding a show or two that gets us a little bit closer to some parts of Florida. Might be adding a show or two that gets us closer to some other states up in the northwest. We'll just rolling along. I'm really excited about the Seattle show where you guys are going to have to talk in British accents the whole time.
That's right,
Wait,
Governor.
wait, that's a thing that we're gonna have to do.
That's the promise you made on the team stream
Yeah,
last week.
And
So yeah.
speaking with,
I'm sorry, I was under the influence of chicken.
and we
that night.
shall be speaking with the authentic Seattle accent, Governor.
That's right. That's right. We are celebrating a birthday, which is going to be great. We are then headed down to Portland and into California, and around to Arizona, and Jen is gonna make some truffles for us. Yeah. Word is getting around that Gangstagrass likes dark chocolate. Except our son, who's only down with the milk chocolate and not the dark chocolate.
Speaking of birthdays, tomorrow is a very important birthday.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, word them up.
We'll be celebrating this weekend the holiday that is commemorating the official day is his official birthday is tomorrow. But everyone's celebrating his birthday on Monday.
Yeah.
The National Day of Service in his honor for the brother, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., freedom fighter, activist, man of the people.
Yeah. And we urge you to take a little time to read or listen to some of the stuff that you haven't already heard from him.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. On Monday, you will see a lot of people using the same exact quote.
Yep.
And misusing his mission, which is far from what his actual mission was, which was more for a fight of equity and justice for all, and not in favor of ignoring the problems and pretending like they don't exist. It's about taking action, which is why the Monday will be a National Day of Service, because was it faith without works is dead.
Word.
So it's all about putting the boots on the ground to make that.
That's right. And you might be in a place that's under many inches of snow that day, but you can still do good works from your home, contribute to the causes, and support the folks who are doing the work every single day.
Yes. And we can also recognize that at the time he was alive, Martin Luther King Jr. was not a universally liked person.
No.
Was facing a lot of hate from lots of people in the country, surveillance by the FBI,
harassment by the CIA, and then eventual, assassination by a government agent. But his work continues, and I'm happy and proud to call him my frat brother.
That's right. That's right. Alphas.
On that note, we were going to talk about some voting rights stuff tonight.
Yes, which was another one of his missions, ensuring that everyone in the country has equal access to that right, not privilege, right, as a U.S. citizen to vote and take place in the democratic process of choosing those who represent us in Congress, Senate, in your various local and state, and also all the levels of federal offices. And right now, the march continues to ensure that people have access to that right, because in all 50 states, there are agents in play who are doing their damnedest to make sure not everyone has access to that right. Polling places are disappearing at an astonishing rate. In some counties where there were once, say, 23 polling stations, there is now one. to where people have to travel sometimes up to 70 something miles just to get to a polling station in places that don't necessarily have public transportation.
Right.
So one can only assume the purpose of that is to make sure that those people do not have access to the polls.
Yeah, well, I've heard people not having a hard time making that assumption and giving a lot of benefit of the doubt, like, oh, maybe this is to actually, cut down on voter fraud or something, or efficiency or whatever. So let me ask you, Delio, if one was in a position of power in the government and one wanted to reduce the rate of voting by Black folks, minorities, and people that generally did not vote as much in your favor, would you just come out and be like, and now I'm presenting the racist bill against Black folks, or would you have to kind of code it in some other way?
Yes, and they would have to, present it to you under a lighting source of the gas-powered variety.
Mm-hmm. Right. So they'll do it under the guise of some other justification with some excuses. And we got to be able to see through that, it's not an accident if they're requiring extra IDs or they're cutting out Sunday availability for drop boxes, or they're cutting out the ability to collect votes, through community organizations.
Or if you're looking at like the state of Wisconsin, they eliminate the boxes altogether.
Right. And if any of these just happen to have the effect of disproportionately reducing the rate of voting by certain populations, it's not a coincidence. And to think that it could be a coincidence is extremely naive.
Right. And it seems like, and the insidiousness of making it extremely inconvenient to vote is what is so upsetting. Because what happens is that you reduce the number of polling places and make it so that so many people have to travel long distances to get there, which also means that they end up having to wait in extraordinarily long lines, which means that eventually they're standing in line so long that, hey, they're going to need a drink of water or some food. And then you make it illegal to give them food or water while waiting in line.
Georgia bill. That makes me think maybe we should book a show in Georgia in November and then set up a little merch operation outside some polling places where we sell water for a penny and it comes with a Gangstagrass CD.
Yes, Betty Lynn. Yes, Betty Lynn. The voter suppression is going hard in Texas as well. And gerrymandering is voter suppression.
The Ohio Supreme Court just kicked back a gerrymandering attempt.
Yes,
that was encouraging.
Was it the Circuit Court the Supreme Court in Ohio? Shout out to them for doing the right thing. And hopefully, other states could take note, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. But it also brings home the point that simply electing people is not enough. You have to stay on their backs and remind them who they work for.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
And if they don't perform that duty, give them the boot.
Give them the boot.
As a quick PSA, just to remind everybody, the incidences of individuals committing fraudulent votes is very, very minuscule. And to enact laws to prevent that prevent thousands and thousands of people from voting, many more times as many, losing many more times as many votes as have ever been fraudulently cast. This is a bad strategy.
Yeah, especially if you look at and the irony is when you look at who actually did fraudulently submit votes in this most recent string of elections, it's actually the people of the party who have been, supposedly on the train of preventing fraudulent voting.
Yeah, was it who was it? Was it I don't know, the governor of Texas? Maybe not. I don't want to say that it was, but somebody gave a big cash prize for like evidence of voter fraud, and the one actual piece of evidence of voter fraud that came forward was about like, some guy who was trying to vote both as himself and as his son for Trump in Pennsylvania. And
Yeah.
and it just
Well, we do have federal indictments on the way for a string of false electors
right.
I'm saying
in 5 separate states.
I will take that one dude that tries to vote on behalf of himself and son if it means we get to keep the availability of voting for thousands and thousands of people, right? You got to see that that's a better deal. If you believe in voting,
Yeah.
it's not worth throwing out the votes of so many thousands of people in order to prevent that one dude from voting in the name of his son. That's just not a good deal at all. And we want everybody in there on voting. Making voting harder has no justification unless you don't really believe in democracy.
Yep. Exactly. And our democratic republic specifically, because democracy, like a real democracy, a true democracy, is where every single person votes on every single thing, which is just not tenable in a country this size. But we send our representatives, and due to the incredibly antiquated electoral college, our electors, to make these calls on our behalf, and to try to change voting laws, as is happening in a lot of states and has happened, to give state legislatures the call over whether to over what those voting results are, is deeply disconcerting.
Yes.
And we're all for making
And screams of corruption.
We're all for making sure that votes are counted right. Last year, well, I guess it was 2020, before the election, we had on our live stream, we had special guest Lulu Freistad from a whole organization that was looking at the electronic voting machines and some of the ways that those need to be more secure. We definitely need to make sure that we're having the right kinds of security, paper trails, auditability on the voting machines, so that those can't be manipulated. So that's one area where we do want to look at making sure that there's no shenanigans, and we're all for that too.
Yes.
Here. And it's important to, I feel like it's important to point out that while a lot of people attempt to make this a partisan issue, and while it can be a partisan issue in in legislatures and in the federal legislature, it is not that all conservatives want to get rid of voting rights. And there are many conservatives who are just as upset about this as people on the left. And I just want to be real clear that it's not about how you view things politically, as far as what you think the right economic calls are, and whether you want more or less government involvement in things. There's actually some really good research out recently about how if you look at people who are conscientious, that is to say, who deliberate and think about things, and try to be judicious in their judgments, conservatives and liberals are on the same level as far as whether they disseminate disinformation. It's not a lot. What determines whether people are disseminating disinformation, what determines whether people are trying to sort of throw a wrench in the democratic process, is low conscientiousness and a high desire for chaos.
I mean, there's sometimes I like a little chaos. Not in my government, though.
Right. Yeah, which is why I think it will be very important to see the voting rights bill go to the Senate floor, because then we can document and keep record of who voted against voting rights.
Yeah. And when I make a distinction between, when I make a distinction between conservatives in the general population, a lot of whom, by the way, voted for Biden, a lot of whom voted for Biden, not because they even liked him particularly much, but just because he was more conservative than Trump was.
Because they liked him now that much.
No, exactly.
That's one of the funny things about the whole "Let's Go Brandon" thing, and it's like Trump supporters that think they're like going to hurt our feelings by insulting Joe Biden. And I was like, I don't care. Say fuck Joe Biden all you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's just childish anyways. It's like the difference is that I guess they expect the people who voted for Biden to worship him the way that they worship Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that's not what happened. We voted for him because he was the better of the two options, not because we worship him. We're not lunatics. We're not lunatics. We're not going to worship a candidate.
Or maybe it was just about the aviator glasses. Speaking as someone who's...
I didn't even notice the glasses.
Pairs of glasses.
I just noticed coherent sentences.
Well, and it's not that kind of sort of worship is not actually what this country was founded on. It's quite the opposite of what this country was founded on. The whole point. That's why whatever you may think of George Washington, and there are lots of reasons to think that he was not a great guy, but he refused. He refused to be a king, and he refused to serve more than 2 terms. The 2 terms thing didn't come into our legal structure until until last century. It's that recent. It was not written, but everybody followed that same pattern that George Washington had set down of, 8 years is plenty. And then we turn over to a new leader because this isn't a monarchy. This isn't rule by divine right.
Right. I mean, I don't even believe in legacies. Like, I feel like if someone in your family served as president, you shouldn't be president.
And that is exactly why I bought the website nolegacies.com, because I was sick of seeing the same last names in my presidential runs.
Yeah.
I don't need it. I agree. I completely agree. If somebody in your family was president,
then that's your one.
That's it. Exactly.
That's your one.
Go do something useful.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And that counts for people you like too.
Yeah. Sorry, Sasha. Sorry, Malia. I'm not. Nope.
You might be awesome. But you gotta let somebody else take.
Right. Give your endorsement to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We already had your dad. That's enough.
That's right. I do still want Oprah to be president, though.
No.
Well, we can disagree on that.
She gave us Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil.
Well, then I still want Pauly Shore to be president.
There you go.
No.
At least he admits to being a weasel.
No.
I mean, Son-in-Law? Did everybody see that movie, Son-in-Law? He brought together the urban and rural communities. It was great and inspirational.
I'd sooner see Ali G.
He's not even American.
Right.
That is true. Although, there's a non-native born American who has been, who shows what a real conservative is and not what somebody who's trying to destroy our democracy is. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And considering his lineage, that was surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of despotism up that way.
Yeah, I mean, his father was a Hitler Youth.
Wow.
It's
Okay, I didn't know that. That's wow. Yikes.
Yeah. But the thing is, having gotten that lesson in their own history, the Germans are a little bit more have a little bit of a radar for like, oh,
yeah. When
what's that?
when we were in Germany, we did our run through Germany back during the Bush years, and they were very concerned about what was happening over here. They were like, we witnessed that happen before. You probably don't want to do that.
I mean,
The rest of the planet came after us when we did that.
teaching and learning history is pretty important as well.
Yes.
It's not like we don't have plenty in our history that could teach us all of these lessons. We do.
Well, if
It's
only
there.
they would teach it.
Huh.
But as we're rapidly going down the path of eradicating huge swaths of history in order to teach a fairy tale of exceptionalism.
Did you see?
Um,
Did you see what happened in Virginia, where they were trying to say that, like, we need to make
the
sure that we
Lincoln
teach
Douglas
the founding.
debates.
Yes, so
I was
with
like,
Frederick
oh my
Douglass.
I was like, really? 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 It's like, well, you picked them. You picked them.
I didn't. That's the state legislature. That's done geographically. That had nothing to do with anybody who was on my ballot. Just for the record.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
I mean, and
remember, I usually can tell a lot about a people or a group of people in a region by who they select, and which is why when I see who my hometown has consistently put into in the House of Representatives, I get extremely depressed. And then I remember, oh yeah, that ain't us. That was them.
that's a tough one. Yeah. Yeah, Matt Gaetz wrote a letter to the governor of Florida about a festival that had a vaccine or negative test requirement, which, by the way, is a thing that almost every single venue that we are playing on this tour has, and that we have played since we went back on the road ish in June of 2021 has had, and his letter was that it was a violation of the governor's executive order against discriminating against the non-vaccinated to have such a policy at a festival, suggesting that such a policy was breaking the law, which is kind of nuts, right? Because you have an alternative. It's not like, some venues, like the spot we're playing in Philly, is vax only.
Right.
But
there's the also option of negative test.
Right. Exactly. You can still come.
Distinctly not discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty nuts. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
It's like,
but
you can use cream cheese or you can use jelly.
but no butter. No, butter's fine too. But here in Virginia, the whole idea was that they were saying, we need to teach the founding documents and we need to teach the Lincoln Douglas debates. And even though they got who Douglas was wrong, the fact is that we do need to teach those things. Like, I do want the Lincoln Douglas debates taught. And P.S., they are. The founding documents are taught. I don't know about you guys, we had to memorize the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. That's like, these things are taught. They are taught, and they should be taught. And, even more importantly, we need to be teaching critical thinking.
Mhm.
Instead of having fights over which things we indoctrinate students with, let's actually teach critical thinking and let students come to their own conclusions and take those skills home and argue with, if they happen to have kind of ignorant parents, argue with their ignorant parents about it. Not because they've been indoctrinated with something, but because they've actually developed the critical thinking skills to have those conversations.
Right.
And to have those conversations, thoughtfully and kindly.
Right. And not necessarily hiding the facts of history in order to preserve feelings.
That's right.
I mean, it's like, okay, then why do you feel bad about it? That should probably actually make you think about it more. You say, oh, why does this feel bad? Oh, because that was a wrong thing to do. Oh.
Mhm.
Go figure.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotta wrestle with the bad stuff in the past in order to get better.
Right. And I was like, I was actually shocked to find out that, that a lot of people in the country found out about the Tulsa race massacre from the Watchmen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, you guys weren't taught that in history class?
We are not taught. I will speak for people, even though I ditched American high school after 11th grade. But I had 3 years of it, and we're not taught jack shit about American history for real. Like, I had to learn all kinds of stuff outside of that, including from Dolio.
Yeah.
In our schools, we were taught everything up through the Civil War and like into Reconstruction, and then nothing else.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And the thing is that I was fortunate enough to be taught a whole lot of American history, but I'm wondering if the fact that I went to an IB school was the reason why I got such a comprehensive history lessons. Comprehensive set of history lessons. I mean, people who were, I guess, in mainstream probably didn't get taught a bunch of that stuff. Mm-hmm. They were like, yeah. I was like, wait, you didn't know about Tulsa? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's specifically, remember when we played Tulsa, that's why we went to Greenwood. Because I was like, we got to go to Greenwood. I want to walk those streets. And then how many years ago was that? Like,
that was a long
a lot.
Like 10 years ago that we went?
8 or 10, yeah. Yeah, we got to get back to Tulsa, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out to Brand J.
Yeah. We'll look to do that maybe in the fall. See if we can get that going.
Shout out to the Guthrie Center out there.
Yep. Yeah, I like the Woody Guthrie Center. You know, they have what is it? I like that they made a hat that says "This machine kills fascists." That's pretty great. Because that's the truth of it. You know, even with the guitar, it's about the brain and the thoughts behind what's being musically conveyed. That's really doing the work.
I'm sorry you feel that way, MC Hip Chase. All the funerals I had to attend say otherwise.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we're losing more people. Brian and I just heard about losing Rashid to COVID, who is one of the former inmates who's working on this Songs in the Key of Free project that we were helping produce. Coming out soon. It was a project of music written by inmates. So we're losing people. I know Dolio's been losing some people recently as well.
My cousins finally got vaccinated because my cousin's I don't know, baby daddy mom died and like on her deathbed dying from COVID, she begged them to get vaccinated because they weren't going to. And you know, she was experiencing the reality of what happens when you're not protected when you could be, and she begged them to please protect themselves and, you know, and everyone around them. And, you know, as far as for shows, nothing is perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect because, you know, there are breakthrough infections. There are false negatives. There is the possibility that if you got tested, you know, 48 hours ago, that you then got exposed after that. Like, none of it is perfect. But
the idea is to give yourself a fighting chance.
Exactly. Reduce the risk as much as possible. Wearing venues that have mask requirements is really reassuring as well, because the less people are breathing their, potential virus into the air, the clearer that air is, and the less risk there is to everybody. So it's all about attempting to be able to have the fun and awesomeness that we love, and and be together and enjoy the music and create and do all these amazing things while reducing the risk as much as we possibly can. Yeah, so not hysteria. It's really actually quite rational. It's doing the best we can. And, every bit of risk that you reduce makes it less likely that you're going to find yourself in an unsafe place, makes it less likely that you're going to, get an infection and take it home to your family, right? Would I rather go to a place that's vax or negative test and masks required than some place where just any old person can walk in? I can tell you affirmatively yes, because I'm about to go on a tour where we have all those protections in place, but I just canceled an appointment at the DMV. Because anybody can walk into the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some things are not safe right now, so you got to take as many precautions as you can and reduce the risk as much as you can. As much as you can. Oh, Jen, you got the thing too. But we know you're vaccinated, and so much less chance of severe illness. That's great. I'm sure you're isolating. So that's tough, sharing a house with folks, even if not a living space. The ventilation, it all matters. That's why we put good ventilation as part of our rider as well for these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As well as dark chocolate, but that's a whole other thing.
That dark chocolate. I gotta send out one more plea to everybody that's watching on Twitch right now. If you're not following Gangstagrass Crew on Twitch, give us this follow, because I really want us to go from 499 followers to 500 followers.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, just go to gangstagrass.tv. Click the heart. Easy.
Yes. Social media and the internet is the only time where you feel comfortable being followed by a stranger.
And even that, only sometimes. There it is.
But with the fun thing about
Marco Ware, you are our 500th follower. Come see me at a show and say, I was your 500th follower on Twitch, and I will make sure that we hook you up.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about this whole Gangstagrass thing is that it's only a matter of time before you're not a stranger anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true. It's a real fam. We were all strangers once, but now we know you. Glad that Jen is doing all right. Like, we legitimately care. If you're, if you're sick, if you're, injured, we legitimately care, and we want you to get better, and we want you to come up to the shows and rock out as soon as you are better.
There's an old saying from my culture, from my ancestors, who say, strangers are just criminals that haven't robbed you yet.
I was wondering where that was going. There was no way that Wrench was going to finish that. Yep. There was no way that was going the way we thought it was going. No way.
But then after they rob you, you know them, and they're not strangers anymore, so it's nice.
Strangers are just criminals that haven't robbed you yet. I love that. And okay, so Hip Chase over in the YouTube, and come on over to the Twitch, come to gangstagrass.tv, hit the heart, is talking about every bit of freedom lost is freedom lost forever. And that's not quite, I see Dolio's trying to nod here, but that's not quite true. It just means it's a piece of freedom you got to win back.
Belch into the mic.
Oh, go ahead. We're all family here. But it's and we appreciate that you love our music. That's part of why we make the music, is to bring awareness to these kinds of things, to bring awareness to, where freedoms are lost, or more importantly, where freedoms have never been granted at all, or where they're not, so it's about expanding that. And sometimes there's a contraction, But that doesn't mean that whatever was contracted is contracted forever. And if you
Right.
believe that, you've kind of given up, and
Yes.
we don't want to give up.
Yeah. I believe that we could take away the Patriot Act at some point, and we
Oh.
should.
Oh my
That
gosh.
sucked.
Yeah, that should have been taken away a long time ago.
Here, here. Here, here. And it's not that there can't be pieces. A lot of times in these big pieces of legislation that have, some egregious parts, there are other parts that are actually useful and helpful and important. It's just that, in a lot of ways, our Congress is so dysfunctional, just so grotesquely dysfunctional, that we end up with, these omnibus and huge bills that nobody's read until it's too late. And we have
Yeah.
pieces of these
That
bills
is,
that
if
that
they
don't
read
need to
them
be
at
there.
all.
If they, a lot of them don't. I mean,
A lot of them don't read them because they're not even the ones writing them.
nope. That's right. That's right.
They've been written by think tanks and lobbyists.
I woke up the other day to I get all these various notifications, and this one was from Google News. Biden to tout successful passing of infrastructure law after voting rights defeat. And I was just like, ugh, come on. And this is, the things that I really wanted to see were like, and this is going back
Right.
many, many years, was meaningful climate change legislation, not so much as far as restrictions, although that's a piece of it, but about putting the incentives in place to change our manufacturing to zero waste, sustainable, thoughtful, to change our culture of production such that we're not creating so much disasterness.
Just simple things like don't dump poison into the water supply. But instead what you get is making it illegal to stop people from dumping poison into the water supply. And then little thing. Like one of the funniest things I saw this week was right after they, I guess, announced that they were going to be putting Maya Angelou on the back of a quarter. And it was black people were asking for change.
No.
Not this. Not this.
Oh gosh. Wow. I guess that was kind of asking for it, huh?
I'm like, really? 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 Okay. Okay, you want to put her on the quarter. Sacagawea was on the quarter.
Yep.
Why don't you ask Native Americans how they feel about what's going on in this country?
Wait, Sacagawea got a whole $1.
Yeah, she got $1, excuse me. But yeah.
Yep. She got $1, but didn't save the water.
Did not save the water. Still dumped oil into the water. It's like not really. The symbolic things do nothing.
Yeah.
It's not even amounting to like a pep rally, or cheerleading of anything. It's not even an endorsement of a cause. It's just like, here, take this. You happy? No, we're not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Maya Angelou would have felt about being on the back of a quarter, given who's on the other side.
Yep. And our newest Barnstormer, Mark, will be seeing the video where Pharaoh makes a not dissimilar point, speaking to Danjo.
You really want to put some money behind Maya Angelou's name. Set up a fellowship in her name. And then put that money that you would have spent printing up these new quarters towards that fellowship for scholarships.
And then you can put Pauly Shore on the quarter.
Exactly. Put the wheeze on a quarter. But he's still alive, so we can't do that.
Yeah, we can.
No.
Why don't we do it before people die? Put Willie Nelson on things before he dies. Can
Willie
everybody...
Nelson is on things.
We should have
Shout out to Lucas Nelson.
Oh yeah, Lucas Nelson. But we should
It was-
have some like everybody listen to Willie Nelson thing, like, you know, we don't have to wait for the like, oh, Willie Nelson died, now everybody check out Willie Nelson stuff.
True.
About it.
So we're going to be saying about all of us if we don't hurry up and fix the disasters that we're creating in our environment. But that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we at least have apparently some amount of an infrastructure bill. That's good because, you know, we drive around this country a lot and we see the state of disrepair that the bridges are in, and, you know,
Oh my gosh.
we do not need more
Yes.
bridges falling into major rivers. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
We can do better.
For people who don't travel the road extensively, some of the stuff that we've seen is absolutely horrifying. I'm talking potholes big enough for a bus to fall in. Potholes big enough that a bus did fall into them. You know, places where you're like, okay, oh yeah, you take that bridge. Oh, okay, that bridge isn't there anymore. You got to go around it now.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that bridge fell down last week. You know, a lot of these structures were only built to be in existence for like 50 years, and a lot of them have been around for 80 plus years. They are not designed for that. You know, and the mechanical engineering me is horrified by a lot of it. You know,
Oh man. We just gotta go out there with more duct tape.
Gaff tape.
Duct tape, duct tape and gaff tape can
That's
only
right.
do so much.
Gaffer Power USA.
Woo. I mean, you know, it's that same complacency, right? It hits everywhere. A complacency that is responsible for failing infrastructure is also a complacency that allows voting rights and polling places to be slowly stripped away, and allows gerrymandering to go on with a shrug of the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And
Stymies development of public transportation.
yes,
And so much of that is about, not being complacent in the sense of, involving yourself or taking action on a level where it's not benefiting just you as an individual. It's doing things because it's a long-term investment or it's going to help the community. And so I think that there's a concept there that to me is very important. And it's something parallel alongside a different value that gets touted a lot is personal responsibility. And I'm all for personal responsibility.
big fan.
Yeah. Personal responsibility is totally cool. But community responsibility in this other sense of being able to do things, not just because you're personally responsible for them, but because it's a concern to everybody and you need to do your part. That's another thing that needs to hold everybody together. And that's something that we're learning, from COVID as much as anything else. And with the climate challenge is that it's going to be all of us depending on a group effort. There's no individual solution here. You have to understand how to put in something to benefit not just yourself, but for the community and to make collective solutions possible.
Right. I mean, it's one of the 7 principles that my family just finished celebrating at the end of every year. During Kwanzaa, Ujima, collective work and responsibility.
That's right. Because especially we see with COVID, but this is true in so many areas, that your personal responsibility directly affects how the community fares. And how the community fares directly affects how able you are to be personally responsible for yourself. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's like-
That's true in the infrastructure point. That's true in, in all sorts of rights.
It's like it's like when you have a group project,
Haha.
a group assignment that you have with a team of your fellow students. And if everyone isn't actually doing their part, then a couple of things can happen. The ones who are doing their part end up having to do their part too,
Yep.
which could either mean that they end up carrying the load to make sure you just barely pass, or it means everybody in the project fails.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So come on, folks. Community responsibility, community values, not just family values, but bigger community values. To have
Yes.
it back.
I want to go back to talking about food, guys.
Yeah.
So let's get back on the ball, please.
Pick a food to take us out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mean exactly this particular moment. I mean in general.
Mm.
It's not like this is something we can't beat if we all put our heads to it and just do what needs to be done. This is not the first time a global pandemic has happened,
Word.
and measures had to be put in order to mitigate the spread. And that's why nobody has had the Spanish flu since what, 1914, 1915? How long did that last? It did take them a few years before they got it under control because, we were going through the same thing. People were like, oh, these masks are stupid.
But they did have mask mandates. That I have to admit that surprised
did.
me. I really didn't think that germ theory was so advanced at that point that they would have known to do that. But it turns out they did. More than 100 years ago, they knew that if you cover your face holes, everybody is safer.
Yeah. And hopefully, people will stop being so paranoid about. I mean, it's understandable that people are skeptical about healthcare, especially in a country that's been that operates healthcare as a for-profit model, under a for-profit model. It's understandable to be skeptical.
Yes.
Skeptical, because that's the
Skeptical. That sounds like it could be a new word. It's the ability to be skeptical.
skeptical about.
But it's understandable that people would be skeptical about healthcare, especially a free vaccine in a model under a model where you can go bankrupt for breaking your leg.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, if it's free, what did you do to it? But the reason why it's such is because the people in power know that it's a bad model if a huge segment of the population dies, because they still need people to do the work that they're not doing.
Yes.
Because what they're saying is like, oh, that means the help is going to get sick, then I'm going to have to do that. The people that grow my food are going to get sick, and I don't want to do that. The people that teach my children are going to get sick, and I'm damn sure not doing that.
Right. Or they're going to refuse to teach because they don't want to get sick.
Right. And then a shout out to the teachers and the students who are taking the initiative that their local governments are not, that their school boards are not. Shout out to Lori Lightfoot for falling on the sword and giving herself COVID so she can work from home while she's forcing teachers to go back into the petri dish.
Wow.
And telling them that they can't work from home. But I bet you are. In fact, that's what you said you were doing, Lori Lightfoot. But hey.
We got some good food shout outs in the Twitter
Yes,
now.
shout out to pupusas.
Hmm.
We eat a lot of pupusas in my house because they make a handy lunch
Egg
with some
Benedict from Betty Lynn.
with some plátanos on the side.
Mmm.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Mm.
Okay.
10-2. Or either way. Huh?
Are we gonna make some
That still
pupusas?
works.
I think we are. I think we're gonna make some
Yeah, I mean
pupusas
we
on the road.
we made arepas last go round. We could do pupusas. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, when we did on our taco night, we made our own tortillas with that, and the crew enjoyed those.
Oh
And once
man.
again, a shout out to the MVP of the evening, Mark Olson, with the Barnstormer subscription and putting us up to 500 Twitch followers.
Seriously,
Oh,
come
yeah.
see us at whatever show is closest to you or shows. We'll give you a VIP pass. We will take care of you at the merch table. Imagine that banners and streamers and stuff are like coming down around you. We really appreciate it.
I like Yosemite Sam, like dancing and putting his pistols in the air.
Iowa or Minnesota. I'm really excited about the Iowa show at CSPS. I'm really excited about the Red Wing show. Those are both going to be really, really stellar. So either one of those, both of those, going to be a great choice. We will come to Red Wing. We'll give you a T-shirt to wear at Iowa.
Yeah.
Yep,
See you in the Midwest, baby.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm excited about all of these dates that we have coming up. We have, let's see,
Oh yeah, yuca fries.
yucca fries.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like that. Pupusas with jalapenos and beef with cheddar cheese and face masks. Super important. Super important. Love the thoughtfulness.
Especially if you chop the face masks finely and sort of put them in sauce.
It's a little extra fiber.
Oh, stop. That's terrible.
Speaking of fiber,
Uh-oh.
no, I've been getting my son into prunes.
Mm.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I just told him they were giant raisins.
Dang. Yeah.
Today he asked me to put them in a smoothie.
Mhm.
That is one well-eaten kid right there. That is
I wonder if he's going to. He doesn't know how spoiled he is.
No, I mean when he goes to college and gets into that dining hall, he's gonna be like, "I'm sorry, what now?"
I imagine he's going to be like I was when I got to college. In the kitchen.
Yeah, right.
I was like, nope. All it took was one visit to the dining hall. I was like, okay, I'm cooking. Save that money. Because that meal plan came out of your pocket. So you just take that same money and spend it on the groceries.
That's right. That's right. And if you're a touring musician, less waste. So if you have
Yes.
good recipes, share them with us. Pop your recommendations for, places to visit while we're on tour into the social media. Let people know which shows you're going to on your Instagram or your Twitter or your Facebook, whatever, and tag us at Gangstagrass so that we can reshare. We love resharing those posts. And the venues love it, so tag the venue.
yeah.
Hey, I'm going to, I'm going to be at Mineral Point, at the Mineral Point Opera House, and tag Mineral Point Opera House and tag us, and we will share it. They might share it too. We love that stuff. That basically makes our job easier.
Spread the word, man. We're an independent band. You are our promotion department.
Yes.
The fans. So make sure you tell your friends.
Well, I like to say we don't have fans, we have supporters.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what really keeps this boat floating.
That's right.
Did I say how excited I was about Bijou?
Knoxville.
Most haunted venue and most haunted building in Knoxville.
Man, like, I don't know how many times I walked past that building and it was just like, oh man, one day. That day is February 26th.
24th.
24th, excuse me. 26 is University City, Missouri.
Right, that's right. Also known as Columbia, Missouri. Yep, that's right. We'll be universitying it up in
At the Duck Room.
That's St. Louis. That's St. Louis.
Do they actually serve duck at the Duck Room?
I don't know if they serve any food at all at the Duck Room. I mean, it's the Blueberry Hill Duck Room, so I would actually like duck with blueberry, possibly. Lil is definitely sharing with friends. Yes.
What it's all about.
I will tell you, definitely go to Virginia Beach in February because the hotels are like mad cheap and they are right on the beach. So that is absolutely worth doing. There are many good travel bargains to be had.
Yes, that is hometown of Asia.
Really?
Our good friend Asia, she is born and raised in Virginia Beach.
I didn't know that. Well, I hope we can get her out to the show. That'd be pretty fun. Get her off the radio for a day. Come see us.
Yeah. Well, at least we get some of her family out there.
Yeah.
Actually, that is also the hometown of Pharrell Williams, Timbaland, and Missy Elliott.
Right. Huh. Man from the big VA.
A lot.
Okay.
Oh, and was it Magoo?
And Magoo.
I forgot about Magoo.
What about that?
Maganoo.
I will admit to not having known about all those people and where they're from. I generally don't have any idea where people are from.
Well, being from the South, you tend to know a lot of the Southern musicians, especially when they go big.
Yeah, especially back then, like when Missy Elliott blew up, being from Virginia was unusual for hip hop.
Yeah. It's like who else from Virginia was big in hip hop was Skills. Well, back then he was known as Mad Skills. Now he just goes by Skills.
Right. You don't need that anymore.
Went to anger management and got there.
Yes, he went to anger management. Now he's just Skills. I'm not mad no more.
That's cute, guys.
Yeah, but shout out to Skills and congrats on wrapping up 20 years of the wrap up. He did his 20th edition of the wrap up for 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry. What's the wrap up? I apologize for not knowing that.
It is a summary of the year's event in rap form.
Oh, it's that thing. Oh, that thing is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Big
Okie
props to
dokie.
Jeffrey Ellis sending in some little present for us on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Woot.
That was funny. It was green and everything. Yeah, actually looking forward to Portland. We always have a blast in Portland. I mean, we have a blast everywhere, but Portland, yeah, because we're going to get to see our homie, Randall White.
That's right.
Oh, Randall Wyatt.
That's
who
right.
you may know from guest verse on Do Better.
Do Better.
Mm.
Yeah. Our son and I also did a feature on his album. Actually, that single is going to be dropping rather soon.
Ooh.
I just saw the cover for it. It's kind of neat.
Sweet.
Nice little ditty called Not Paying Attention.
Wow.
It's about shaking off the haters and still being excellent.
You can say whatever you want about me, but it just don't mean a thing, cause I'm gonna make it.
Oh man, that's a throwback.
That's Dolio John right there.
That was like '03. Yeah, that was back. Yeah, that was a long one. I haven't done that in a long time.
We can
I
always
remember.
go back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's bring it back.
Yeah, that one was I remember the opening line was the only accurate depiction of vernacular spit by the sloop is spectacular. And then I went on this long tirade of rhyme schemes.
High quality. Jeffrey Ellis, we cannot wait to see you in Portland.
Word up.
Okay, all right, we have a joke. We have a joke from Jeffrey Ellis. You guys ready? All right, what's green and has wheels? Okay, the answer is...
I already read it.
The answer is grass. I lied about the wheels. I feel like that's not quite a dad joke, but it's like it's dad adjacent.
It's the friend, your dad's best friend joke.
We'll be at the Aladdin Theater in Portland. Very excited about that. We did learn to spell Aladdin for the occasion.
That's right. We're gonna take you on a magic carpet ride.
That's right. That's right. We are going to do that.
Show you the world.
We are coming to so many towns. June 14th in Portsmouth in the UK is when we kick off that UK tour. Before that, we are in all of these places you're seeing on your screen right now. It all starts February 3rd in Frederick, Maryland, not super far from my hometown. And we're heading to Chester, Virginia, and South Orange, New Jersey. And then we're really getting things going in Philadelphia on February 17th. And then we're just on the road. We're just doing the thing. We're in our bubble. You guys be in your bubble. Be safe. Get a bunch of masks.
And we got to hit that smoothie spot in Bend.
Oh, yeah. There will be smooth. Do we need to carry a blender with us? Maybe we do.
Yeah.
We're just, our kitchen kit is getting so big that we're going to have to
Just
I don't know,
carry
like
the
Pharaoh's
kitchen.
going to ride on the roof or something.
I don't know. I figure there's some benefit to letting some things be, special.
Yeah.
When it's there, not having it all.
It's
Like,
true.
when you get it, you get it. When you don't, you don't. It'll be more exciting.
Right, especially when we're on the West Coast. West Coast is usually where we do donut runs. Donuts are usually pretty good everywhere, but for some reason the West Coast.
West Coast does them up.
Yes, for some reason the West Coast has spent an inordinate amount of time perfecting donuts.
Reason. I think I know the reason. Because they're good.
True.
They are. They
So-
do donuts really, really well out there. I will say one of the places we're staying has a Tim Hortons right next door.
T-Ho.
Yeah. Canadian donuts. A totally not actually different thing. The Dunkin' of the North. Yeah. So if you have,
Dunkin' was the Dunkin' of the North.
if you have, I guess it is. If you have donut recommendations for us, we will take those at Gangstagrass. Oh man. I gotta eat. I'm so hungry now. I'm so hungry now. It was Jeffrey's 23-year-old son who told him that adorable grass joke. So I guess it was technically dad adjacent.
There you go. It was a son joke.
According to the picture of Dad Jason.
Dad Jason.
Dad Jason. There we go.
Here it is. Betty Lynn says Tim Hortons is the Shipleys of the North. What's Shipleys? Is that one you know?
I don't know that one.
Sounds like we just got another recommendation. All right.
Right.
We'll check
I'm
it
just
out.
hoping to find a Beaumont of the North,
What's that?
where you get the beignets and New Orleans.
Oh, that's the beignet place in New Orleans. I was there
Which
when
is
I was a
why-
teeny little child.
Which is why I make my own beignets, because I can't find them up north.
Hmm.
That's right. We're gonna make many beignets. We're gonna make many bagels. Oh, Shipley's Donuts is in Texas only. Well, we look forward to getting back to Texas and Florida once it's not quite so scary to go there.
Yeah, right.
That's
I mean,
gonna be great.
I've been going, but I'm gonna make beignets tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You want beignets tomorrow, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my wife over my shoulder. I am currently not in the place I normally do this stream from. I am in my wife's studio right now.
Yeah.
Hold up, let me get rid of my virtual filter. Excuse me, that accent crept in. She's arting it up over here.
Yeah. Creating. Philly artist extraordinaire Michelle Angela. And you can find her on all the social medias too.
Yes,
Check out some of that amazing artwork.
Yeah, you can check it out at michelleangela.com.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
That's right. And again, go to gangstagrass.com/events and you'll get links to all of these shows. There's also a decent chance if you just type in gangstagrass.com/whatever sort of makes sense for the show. So gangstagrass.com/MD will get you to that Frederick show. Gangstagrass.com/Chester will get you to that Chester show. Gangstagrass.com/NJ will get you to the South Orange, New Jersey show. Gangstagrass.com/PA will get you to the Philly show. Gangstagrass.com/DC will get you to the DC show. You can go to gangstagrass.com/events for all of these shows. Get your tickets. Get your tickets now. Get them now. The venues will appreciate it. Wrench and all of his glasses will appreciate it.
I need you to get them tickets so I can get them glasses.
I miss you guys. Yes, we too, Betty Lynn, are impressed with Dolio's bagel skills, and we cannot wait to have more bagels. We're going to make cookies and bread. We make so much bread. We're going to make pancakes, and
I made some awesome biscuits yesterday.
Of course you did.
We'll probably show them to the barnstormers.
So what I did is I this thing that I started doing to make my crusts fluffier when I make my pie crust, I employed that with the biscuits this time. It's like after I make the dough, and as I start to roll it out, I roll it out flat first, and then I take a frozen stick of butter, put it over a cheese grater, and I grate it over the dough, and then I fold it over and then roll it out again. Mm-hmm. So that way, I've already buttered it, but because the butter is frozen in the dough, it starts to melt while it's baking. So you get these little pockets, and they get nice and fluffy.
That's a good croissant technique as well.
Yeah, a proper croissant takes a while. It's like a 2-day process.
It does, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's a lot of butter though.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of butter. Yeah. Can you make an olive oil croissant? I guess you couldn't. It wouldn't quite work because it wouldn't have the same texture.
Yeah, you need that saturated fat. You know, I guess if you do it in a icy cold room, you freeze your olive oil.
Interesting. Well, hopefully that won't happen on our trip, but we will.
Maybe if we do it in Wisconsin.
Yeah, maybe we do it on the porch in Wisconsin.
But if we're in Wisconsin, guaranteed whatever we do is going to be cheesy.
You should know that we absolutely hear that call.
Oh. I can't hear it.
I know. You have the greatest noise canceling headphones.
Just got a tip from Lila, huh? for a spot in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We might need to stop by when we're passing through.
Ooh, and oh, you know what? We might actually be. Is that a place that's open for breakfast? Because we might actually be looking for breakfast in Winston Salem very soon. So, I would love to know. You can tell us either here in the chat or at Gangstagrass, because that sounds like a spot we might have to hit up. If they're only open for lunch and dinner, and not like overnight, we will probably miss it this time just because of the way our timing is going. Because we got to get from Boone, North Carolina to Virginia Beach real fast. But do come out to one or both shows. It's going to be dope. Gangstagrass.com/events. I'm going to go get some dinner, y'all. I can't take all of this food talk any longer. I have to fix it.
All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us on Gangstagrass.tv, Team Stream. We will catch y'all on the flip side.
Yes. Fight for voting rights. Do some service. Do some good. We love you. We'll see you next Friday.